the Gemini song. How funny. Okay, so we're getting into your July 2024 intuitive tarot readings. I'm MJ. I'm the founder of Ultra Love. I do offer private readings, which you can book. It's worth saying too, like most of us doing this profession, we're not going to reach out to you. I'm not going to privately DM to like offer readings or anything like that, or like I can read this or anything. So if that's the case, then report or scam or just ignore it. You have to go to the Ultra Love website to book. And of course, check out the merchandise as well. Okay, so divine guidance and loving clarity is my intention with these readings. Divine guidance and loving clarity. This is for Gemini. Anybody resonating with the Gemini vibratory? Moving forward, slow and steady wins the race. I get that message from the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. This is a solid energy. This feels solid. This feels like maybe you're making a commitment. This is a new beginning in love. This feels like a renewal. This feels like a commitment to yourself, a commitment to your steady progress, probably career related, or certainly something to do with like resources. Moving forward, doing things that we enjoy, creating life and abundance and potentials for ourselves in a way that feels solid, steady. Ace of Cups is like a new beginning in love. It's more of a renewal, I would say, in a sense of loving ourselves and feeling good about where we're at in life. With the Hierophant, it's a commitment, possibly a move, a house purchase, getting a new house, making a move somewhere, driving somewhere kind of thing, or getting a car to go somewhere. But certainly moving forward in a direction that feels solid, substantial. And again, this is coming from a really deep place of commitment to self, to your process, to your journey. So 2 more cards I'm hearing for Gemini. That 2 of Wands has been coming through a few readings, and the 6 of Sword in the reverse. This is I'm getting a message. 6 of Sword reverse, like try not. I mean, it's probably more Gemini than some other signs, perhaps, but like trying not to get too much in our head. It's like being in the present moment and just looking out at the horizon, seeing what's in front of you, contemplating, visioning, imagining, having some experience behind us, but kind of craving more, but not wanting to be too hasty. Again, Knight of Pentacles. This is a substantial theme or energetic stamp on this reading, right? So like just that slow and steadiness, not making any impulsive moves, probably doing good grind or steady work, that kind of thing. And then part of this is giving ourselves space to imagine and think and I don't know, read books or look out at horizons, look at views. This person is looking out at there's mountains or hills. They're on the land looking out at sea though, with the world in their hand. It's like, what do I really want? This is a fairly new energy as well. Ace of Cups, renewal, feeling new, feeling reborn, feeling commitment, feeling committed to our own personal progress and journey. And then gently starting to open up to like, I wonder what else. And then this is sort of trumping or the assist and help with getting too in our heads. Like think maybe it's something about rushing the process. Like we don't need to rush to get to these calmer waters. Or rushing's not going to get us anywhere kind of thing. Or overthinking's not going to get us anywhere at this stage either. There's something kind of healing about just being able to be where we are. And I guess contemplate as well. That just shuffled, and then that's the same energies. This is what I mean, like dropping our defenses, like resting energetically there. But there's it's not, that can be part of it. It's like dropping our defenses, really kind of softening away from having to like be defensive or defending ourselves, or that kind of get a sense of that energy being when we're not around the right if we're not in the right constellation, if we're not quite doing the right things, or if the work is too burdensome, or if whatever, like it's building us up to be like, oh God, something's got to give. I've either got to communicate some stuff, or just gotta let go. And I kind of think there's been a big let go of like, I just can't deal with this, that, and the other. And so I'm going to go somewhere else. And then the Ace of Cups is like feeling the renewal of that feeling. It's like the idea of taking a retreat, or sometimes, taking a sabbatical, or taking a soul journey where we just come away from our lives to get perspective. And indeed, that perspective comes through a sense of emotional renewal, a commitment to ourselves. I mean, the Hierophant could be making a commitment to something as well, an authority figure of any kind, really. That's hence the Knight of Pentacles moving us forward, slow and steady. I just get a sense of like putting in some good work, learning some things, like, yeah. And then underlying that, though, and within this kind of steady program, as it were, there's this ability to, I want to say, luxuriate this space to weigh out our options, to imagine what might be nice as far as like setting sail somewhere. Okay, let's pick some more cards for clarity as far as Gemini moving forward here, nice and slow and steady. What are some other messages here for Gemini regarding these energies for the month of July? Some of you all might be thinking about a commitment. So the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Cups reverse has come through looking, sort of clarifying this energy. And I'm getting a few different messages here. It's like there was a time we felt probably really good about where we got to in life, or where we're at in life. And like there was something maybe that really tested our sense of self. Let's get some more clarity on that. I mean, this could be connected. This is coming through Father of Pentacles, father energy, right? And the Death card reverse. I'm thinking this could be to do with the loss of a parent or a grandparent. The death of an elder that is still kind of watching over us or looking over us. And the Nine of Cups feels like we got to the end of being able to do something the way we did it, or feel lucky the way we once felt lucky. Hence this like stepping onto a new path, like just, and so long as the Ace of Cups is really giving me a feeling of autonomy. Like for now, I'm on my own and I just want to fill my cup, let my cup overflow and see where that flow goes and commit to that. But within that commitment, some of you, there could be some job involved, or a working project or something that you're involved in. So and steady, there's a practical application in the physical dimension to what you're doing, which is allowing you some energetic space just to like open your field and imagine like, what could I do and how could I go? And there's some sort of father figure support, or lineage type of energy from beyond the veil. That's fairly clear to me with regards to that energy. Transforming some of our inherited connections to the paternal lineage. And again, with general readings, you could do either parental, beyond the veil, and just maybe how it affected our sense of worth. There could be just a little blockage too, and again, allowing us to open up to receive, or There's this sense of like giving ourselves permission to self-care, beautify, adorn. I feel like some of you are like looking at the mountain, or looking at the the future, and you're like, you're not, there's something here, like you're not quite ready to put roots down anywhere. You're not ready to lay down foundations because you're still visioning. You're still like, whoa, where do I go? What do I do? And then there's something from the, again, dominantly paternal lineage, but it could be ancestral in general, beyond the veil, feeling lucky, feeling really good, and being going through a transformation in and of itself, and a real testing of strength. And so choosing a kind of rebirth rather than maybe following the conventional course, or following maybe even a sense of like following what one of our parents expected us to do, or like the patriarchal, like, this is how you do stuff in the world thing, that kind of dying out. Now, maybe there's resistance, but again, if this is resonant, part of the support is self-care, self-love, adorning, like beautifying ourselves, basically, like painting, putting roses in our hair, or yeah, there's definitely a piece there about self-care, going to the water for like cleansing, feeling connected to our creative sexual energies. Um, for some of you, there could be something about going to a temple. There's a very dominant and sort of feminine energy coming through here that I think and it is connected to like nature, trees. For some reason, the pyramid is really sticking out to me. I don't know if there's a pyramidal structure that you're working with, or if some of you might be like planning a trip to go visit some pyramids somewhere. But there's like a goddess energy or birthing kind of energy, which feels really, really sacred. And also, like, because the Nine of Trees, it could be interpreted with the Nine of One energy. So that could be like needing this respite for a really profound healing. Because the Nine of Trees would also be like when we're absolutely exhausted, when we really haven't got much to give. But this is pointing that way, which is like the old energy. So this is about an old way of working, or an old way of doing things, or an old way that like has been healing for 9 lifetimes or 9 years or something like that. And it's finally like owning that rebirth, I suppose, and being fine about moving forward, being in the present moment, enjoying the journey, enjoying the open landscape of potential, without the fear, not having to put down roots, basically, right? In this moment, waiting for the guidance, allowing yourself to be guided in the present moment, rather than like, I have to do this now and I have to put the roots down. Some of you guys could have some pretty profoundly spiritual experiences. Samadhi is this like pinnacle bliss state of consciousness, of like unity. And I know, like, coming from old paradigm teachings, there is the sense of separation from that, Christ consciousness or unified experience. But I genuinely believe like it's more real, like more and more people are able to access those states of grace or divinity, or just through the rising of our collective consciousness, like more people meditate, more people are really vibing with the essence of these teachings, and I would say understanding it very profoundly in an integrated and embodied way. And that card is coming through for you in the upright. So I'm like, there's a very maybe profoundly spiritual experience coming through for you this month. I know it's Gemini, but I keep hearing Pisces. The Samadhi card is blue, and I'm very spiritually charged energy coming through for you. And like, hence where I'm like, this deep healing and reflectivity and imagining, rather than like, I don't know, this super buildy phase or like workhorse phase. It's like something's just really steadily moving you forward to open up a landscape of potential, Nothing has to be rooted at the minute because there is still some physical healing. There's sort of some energetic healing, like really letting the rivers, the water, like wash old things like grief. Maybe grief could come through. Um, Only in the Nine of Trees, the characters kind of stop with the hands in such a way that makes me think of grieving or crying by the river or just feeling emotional. It's divinely guided, and again, it comes from a very like the divine mother energy, or a kind of divine feminine energy that is sort of wanting to birth or make more life, and to make that life, there's having to be old threads of consciousness or old threads of energy that are releasing. And in a quite dynamic way, the testing of our strength, or like the things that once made us feel good just don't make us feel good, aren't, it's not the same. So you're just steadily moving forward, visioning into how do I fill my cup now? And if definitely, and I get a vibe of singleness here, but if you're not single, there could still be this going on internally in a dynamic where you're just needing to do a little bit of self-exploration. Or if there's very much a singleness, it's like imagining the relationship, or imagining the life, or imagining the landscape. I'm seeing sailing. There's like sailing on a boat somewhere, or certainly being by the water. And then it's like knowing when you're ready to take action, Gemini. That's why I think you're having to go step out of the mental space a bit, like stop thinking so much, you guys, and then be grounded and look around you and be really present and listen to your heart. And like Gemini, like to think and relate. It's like just think lots of different ways of things, and then when you're really feeling inspired to act in a certain direction, then take action. One, move in that direction. You'll know as it surfaces through, and this is part of the energetic clearing, the generational shifting that's happening right now, these different push-pull kind of powers, this really purging old stuff, right? And the more we're in our head or try to rationalize it and over intellectualize, often we sort of come out of the moment. We miss the point. And so it's like just allowing yourself to be in this sort of steady day-to-day routine, moving forward. I'm like, again, just getting like a nice exchange, a nice sort of just like really sustainable rhythm. And then it's allowing your energy to just gently expand from this new beginning that you're committing to, which is also part of what's probably clearing and or purging some of the grief or older stuff, more than likely from childhood, and then asking you to spend a little bit more time in self-care, self-love, self-adornment, like really loving. Ooh, I just got a little sparkle of like the inner child is just like enlivening and being like, ooh, like what can I play and what can I do and what does this feel like and what is that? Perhaps the physical adult body could be also healing and releasing. And um, I'm getting a weird message about healing from within this sacred blue, or so possibly like a little rewilding, or like the sacred blue is like the depth of the ocean, but then the red hair is making me think of the adornment, getting dressed up, putting ourselves, like being seen as well, which can be interpreted in lots of different ways. And then a lot of spiritual energy, same with the Hierophant as well. If you're not having those like really profound visceral spiritual experiences, some of you might, that could be going to a priest or somebody, but I'm not really getting that vibe. But yeah, okay, maybe some of you could go back to church. You could meet a teacher, a wisdom teacher, a priest, a vicar, whatever, that kind of just inspires you to move in a certain direction. When you'll know. When you see it come through, you'll then be inspired to take action. You don't need to rush to put any roots down right now. If anything, it's more this emotional, like allowing this emotional rebirth to take place, adorning yourself, self-care, slowing down, yoking that inner wisdom, samadhi. Some of you are really having that potential to yoke a kind of inner spiritual wisdom. But this is unified spiritual wisdom. It's just like exquisite and blissful. Like a very elevated spiritual call, and then and yet the physical realm is very steady. Slow and steady wins a race, I keep hearing. You don't need to rush to put roots down. You're like in a process right now of opening up your field. Like, oh, but then I just think, ooh, see, we don't need to rush because there's potentials we can't see yet. So it's almost like there's, as this healing still processing, grief processing, don't need to rush, like allowing this space. This is like new potentials to open up and be like, holy fucking shit, I'm glad I waited, because I never would have seen that if I hadn't. Or I'm glad I'm in this phase now, because if I hadn't taken this opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to see this. And now I can, that's the vibratory. Oh, wait, there's no rush, Gemini. Like, I think you guys know that. But these are new, like all of us are always kind of moving into like new realms. It's like, how does that feel? Well, it's definitely new. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but at least I know I'm letting go of an old way of working, an old way of showing up, and even an old way of thinking what was lucky. Like feeling lucky doing this, that, and now that's fizzled out, and that's testing my strength. Could be connected to, again, a paternal lineage or an ancestral lineage. And then like healing that sort of exhaustion and having to carry these burdens or weights or pressures, and then just being steady on your steed, really autonomous energy, whether you're partnered or not. This is an energy of like real coming into self, especially with samadhi, a self-realization, and being steady with that growth. Really good for you guys, Gemini, right? Coming into a more sense of integrity, so that you can probably unify some of that maybe propensity to be a bit maybe flighty or non-committal, or and again, it's not good or bad or right or wrong, because we all exhibit all these probably tendencies at different times. But yeah, there is a like not being able to kind of lay down roots, but this process you're thinking about it and it's in your awareness, but it's just probably not the right time for you yet. And then when you'll know, and you'll move forward toward it. There's more to open up to. Don't get too much in your head. Try to be present and very much in the present moment. There's a lot of beauty to kind of take in around you, and more than likely energetic healing and a sense of self that's being reborn, a creative sense of self, adornment, and being seen is a little bit coming through as well. All right, Gemini, that's your month of July. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next month. Take care. Peace out.